cool guy. I think he did really well.
Play my intro music! It's not loud enough.
Oh, all right.
Tonight, live from Serve Yourself Hotel in Chicago, an extra special guest returns for episode 216 of AWSM Radio.
Damn, that was good. Damn, it's time for our third episode of the recording session at Serve Yourself Tall Tale. We're combining the names into one really long name now.
Ooh, Serve Yourself
we
Tall
thank them
Tale,
very
Serve
much.
Yourself.
We enjoy the sound of their machines. It's soothing. It's relaxing.
Oh, we can't forget to get...
And I'm Logan, and that's also Tom.
I'm Tom. I'm pretending to be an ice cream machine.
I'm Nick, and we need to remember to get room tone. And please give a wonderful round of applause for extra special guest, Kyle Ann. Thank you. All right. How have you been, my darling?
I've been good. There's been a lot of changes.
Yes, there has been.
I'm a girl now, so
Yeah!
yeah. So that's pretty big. It's funny because I was looking at the picture from before, and thankfully Tom was really sweet and changed it. And I had like this mohawk, and I was all like, brr, and I was like, no.
Probably
yeah.
wearing flannel. Maybe
Yeah,
a little bit.
right.
I think so. I think
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I may be wearing flannel
Hey,
soon.
girls
My inner
can have
lesbian
mohawks.
might come out pretty soon. We'll see.
be.
I don't know.
Well, darling, I would love it if you helped me, like, transition over this
Oh.
segment that I used to do. No, I used to play this thing called #AllPlay, and it was
Okay.
stupid, like, just like stream of consciousness. But we tried to like revamp it. So I want to describe to the audience how this is going to be. You know, normally I'm
Okay.
like, #AllPlay for segment, and then we all just yell the first thing that comes to our mind. This time we are going to pick a word that is trending on Twitter, and then for 1 minute, we
no.
are all of us lovely people with microphones, going to we're going to act as pseudo-intellectuals
Yeah.
about the topic.
Okay.
We're going to smarten it up.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh my God, let's go.
All right.
I can't
so
wait.
Let's get ready for, do you have the magic?
I do.
Play. All right. So
Yes.
I'm going to say a word that is trending on Twitter, and then we're going to act like pseudo-intellectuals and
Okay.
talk as if we know what this means. #if college didn't exist.
Jason would be out of a job.
Yeah. Jason Narvi was on the
Call back
previous
to our
episode.
episode,
He would have been
but
like
Beer
out of a
pong
job.
supplies would all the sales would go down, just like the cells.
We're really smartening it up.
I think
I'm an intellectual. I say cells.
I think that if college didn't exist, I think that we would transcend to a plane where astral projection is real, and I think the inner unicorn, gender-neutral magic of toddlers would come to life in such a miraculous way that NPR would finally get the recognition that it deserves, and I think there would be no more royal family, and that's really all I have to say about that.
Everything's
but
fine.
what I was trying to remember, because I read so many different political articles every day because I just feel so weighted down with the bullshit.
Right.
That I have to stay informed. I have to continuously remind myself, stay informed, know what's going on, choices.
Or you could just watch RuPaul's Drag Race all of the time instead.
All of the time.
Right.
But recently there was a state that said, okay, it's free to go to college for the first 2 years. Community college is free.
Oh,
Which
wait.
state was it?
New York,
Was
I
it-
think.
I thought it was.
I think
thought
was
it
it New
was
York?
Rhode Island.
I think
Hey.
it was New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
I remember-
wasn't
Informing the masses.
One of my Facebook friends complaining about that.
complaining.
Yeah.
Complaining.
Because they didn't get in on it? Is that what it was?
About a free education.
Seriously.
I really don't understand because, like, there's so many reasons to be grateful and thankful that we just forget. We just all like to complain and bitch and moan. And, I'm really thankful that when I called you yesterday and said, hey, do you think it would be okay to talk about this?
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, I wanted to ask you the same question, and that's what I want to talk about. So let's talk
about it.
Rhode
Island.
Let's
do it.
It was Rhode Island.
Was Rhode Island?
It was Rhode Island.
We're
a bunch of liars.
So when did you first start to identify, or was there a period where you first started to identify as a male rather than a female, or a female rather than a male? Or did it go back and forth?
You know, I feel like I've always identified as female ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
You and I grew up in the very deep South, and Candace as well. And I think I just didn't understand what that was, and I think at some point in my life I didn't understand the difference between a transgender person and a gay person. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm just a gay person. And so I tried to identify as a gay male for a long time. Then I actually went through reparative therapy, which I don't recommend to anyone. And so it's funny. So I came out, and then I went through reparative therapy. I came out again and tried to
Wait, you mean the conversion therapy? Like the Mike Pence?
Yeah.
Yeah, officially not recommended by the podcast.
Not recommended.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and so when I came to Chicago, I remember talking to it about a lot of some of my friends, and they're like, I think you might be actually trans. And I thought, okay, well, you're probably right. But I kind of like shelved it in the back of my head, because also when I grew up, I just realized there was a lot of hardships surrounding trans people, and then also it was a huge like you used to have to go get diagnosed with gender dysphoria. And you used to have to like be monitored by a psychiatrist, and I mean it was like a really long drawn out
journey
commitment.
process.
And you don't do that stuff anymore, which is great. So that was a big part of it. And then I met my former partner, Ryan, and we just kind of fell in love. And I think at the time I thought, I've met this wonderful person, so this will solve all my problems. And so we stayed together. But at some point, it wasn't enough. And I think a lot of the reason at that point I didn't sort of come out as trans is I was really scared of losing that relationship. Yeah. And then I think at some point I was just like, and he actually even asked me about it on a couple of times, and I was kind of dismissive. And then I finally did come out, and he was super supportive. We did decide that like that being a romantic couple wasn't going to work. Okay. But we're still incredible friends, and we still love and support each other. And he was kind of like, I think the reason things haven't been working is because, like, I'm gay, I identify as gay, I'm attracted to men, and you're a woman, and I don't date women. And I was like, bingo.
That makes perfect sense.
And that was such an epiphany for me. I was like, I made even a Facebook comment. I was like, wow, I just realized that the reason dating all those gay guys didn't work is because I'm a girl, and gay guys aren't attracted to girls. But there was this huge thing of like, what's wrong with me, and why can't I make this work? But then it was like, oh, I can't because this is not. And it was so freeing to be like, oh, I'm a trans person. And now the gay men are like my allies and these beautiful people, but it's not who I am.
Right.
And that was like, oh.
It's so mind-boggling to me to know that after going through the shuffle of coming out, you have to go through a swirl of other like transgressions to come out again. And that's just that rocks my world. Like I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah, no.
To have that strength, not only to have the strength to do it, but just to have the strength to come to that realization. Because
Thank you.
I think you're very welcome. I think one of the problems that we have certainly in this country and in other parts of the world is gender roles and gender identity.
I completely agree.
The fact that we, just like a two-party system doesn't work. Sorry, there's more than just I'm born a man, I'm born a woman. Because when I try to explain my gender to people, it is laughable because they have no idea what I'm talking about. Because normally we say or we check
male or
female,
right,
occasionally there is an option to say I prefer not to say or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And I do check that when given the opportunity because I think the limitations
Yes.
are impactful in a way that we don't see because it's all underground and it's all suppressed.
And it affects you, I think, so profoundly that you don't even realize, and so you're sort of out of that box. And actually, it's funny that you say that because my friend Elmo Painter, who identifies as genderqueer and uses they, and so and they are a clinical psychologist, and their specialty is with gender and sexuality. And so I was talking, so I texted them and I was like, I'm having some problems.
Right? I
need to talk. And so I went to them and they helped me so much just understand what was going on, and it was like I immediately was able to lift this veil and sort of kind of like claim my truth or whatever and be who I am. And I have to say, like, I do feel like a big part of the reason I feel so good and so blessed is because we are in a really amazing city that I can be who I am, and I have legal protection under the law, and I don't have to worry about what bathroom to go to. I don't have to worry about being fired. And like the support has been tremendous. I mean, literally, people have been like, "What do you need? I have makeup, I have clothes, I have this, I have that." Like all of these, like this, all these clothes were given to me. All the makeup I have on was like given to me. So it's like it has been such a tremendous outpouring of like love that a part of me is like, wow, why didn't I do this a long time ago? And then I look back and go like, well, now of course I know why I didn't do this a long time ago because I couldn't.
You had to come to that crossroads
Right.
and then decide to take the next step.
Right.
Well, and tell me if this rings true for you or
Sure.
not. I feel like in a lot of aspects of identity, sometimes it's hard to know what your identity is, but you feel what you're not.
Exactly.
More strongly, and the burden of that, you're like, this isn't working for me. Like, I gotta figure it out because I feel like everyone goes through stages in their lives where they feel like this just isn't me. Like, this isn't working.
No, and I think that's part of it, and I think also, and Elmo pointed this out, and they were like, you don't know your boundaries until you sort of set parameters.
Right.
And so you have to have the experiment to step out, whether that's like you being butch or femme or female or maleness, and that's, but it's like you don't have the permission. You don't feel like you have the permission.
Until you allow yourself to have the permission, which is what I did in the South when I finally said I'm coming out, which is why I was such a whore when I first came out.
Well,
I was just like, let's sleep with everyone. I can do this. I give myself permission.
That's so interesting because like even well, yeah.
I mean, it's what
keep
happened.
it safe, but you don't. Yeah. But no, that's the thing with sexuality is it's so funny. It's because I always thought that even identifying gay, I always felt like, you know, like if I had been in a physically female body, my sexuality would have been so much more open.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that I am like identifying that, I feel much better about being able to express that.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's so weird because it was like, I know that I'm not a straight dude, but I'm not a gay dude. And I'm like, oh, I'm just this girl that maybe loves everybody, you know?
Right. The first time, and I don't know if, tell me if I did this, guys, if I ever tried to describe like my gender and how I identify, actually relates back to my Native American roots because I am...
Because there's two-spirit.
There's two-spirit, like the Nadlihi that it was referred to, which meant they who were equally embodied by both masculine and feminine furies. And in their tribes, they were regarded as the shamans or the healers or the mystics. Yes. And that is how I identify. And I wish there was a fucking box that said mystic or something that I could just check off.
It is a Western thing.
It is. It's totally Western because there are many other cultures that identify more than just the black and white that we have in paper saying you're this or you're that.
Agreed.
I know. I'm so glad that we got to chat this out.
Amen, girl.
We're going to talk about this a little more.
Okay.
But I would like to invite one of our audience members
up. Come on.
Because we're going to play a little game here. Did we tell you what game you're going to be playing?
Yeah, something about sin and sinning slowly. I was like, well, I sin in regular speed and every day in your life, so, you know.
Super Simmons.
Oh, Simmons. I thought you said
Super Simmons Club.
I was like
Richard Simmons.
Yes.
All right, Logan, how do we play
All
Super
right.
Simmons slow-mo?
I'm going to play a song from Richard Simmons' Sweatin' to
Okay.
the Oldies at 1/3 speed. And whoever feels like they know the answer, say ding.
All right.
to
Wait,
ding
well,
in.
let's introduce this handsome
Oh, this is-
woman.
Oh,
This
sure.
is
All right.
here.
Yeah, we can do that.
Tom, why don't you introduce this
This
guy?
is my brother Joe.
Hello.
Brother Joe,
Hello.
thanks for
My-
coming.
Hello.
My broseph.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I like that, broseph. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Joe, say one more thing so I can get your level correct.
Thank you for having me.
say that again.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that works. Thanks, Joe. All right. So, Joe and Carlin, you're going to be playing this game. Nick and Tom, don't buzz in because you'd be cheating.
I know.
Okay.
You've heard these songs before.
We have.
All right.
Yeah.
So, here is
First song.
the first
Jeez.
song.
I'll have another. It's a David Lynch film. Oh my gosh, what is this?
Ding.
Ding! Oh,
Ain't
wait,
no mountain
yeah,
high
you
enough.
got it.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, that was really good.
We both got it at the same time.
But you hit it, yeah. But I heard that.
Half a second.
Yeah,
Doesn't it
half a
sound like
second
a
ding.
Twin Peaks moment? I was like, what, am I in the Black Lodge? What the hell's going on? Oh, the
The
return.
log lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations, Joe. 1 point. Second song.
Ting.
Oh.
It's my party, and I'll cry if I want
That's
to.
correct.
Wick on the
Yeah.
drum.
Okay.
All right. 1-1 right now.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Next song.
This is a hard one. Me and Nick were not able to get this one.
It is a particularly hard one. People playing along at home, yell at your computer now or cell phone.
Oh, I got it. Ding. Is that Wipeout?
It is.
Yeah, very good.
Really good. I couldn't get that.
Ashley got it. I saw her.
Because I could hear the little groove.
Yeah, I knew it was a surf.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
Like,
just
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay,
It's a really
yeah.
tough one. No lyrics. All right. So that's 2-1. Whoever gets, or Kylan, if you get one more,
Oh, no.
Okay.
you're going to be the winner. So here's the
Okay.
next song.
I got it. Ding. Big girls don't cry.
That's correct.
Yes!
Wow.
And Joe, you have been
Right,
wiped
Frankie Valley.
out.
Yeah.
I got the first one.
Yeah, you did.
Congratulations.
Wasn't a
for-
total
You were both
groove
very
breaker.
good.
Yeah, I just. Yeah,
Is that the last one?
That
Yeah.
was the last one.
was it.
Yeah.
Round
Got
of
it, you got
applause
it.
for our
Let's
participant.
hear it for Joe, too.
Joseph.
Who lost again. No, I don't know.
I love game time.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
game time. And I think it's game time in America because a lot is changing right now and a lot is going to continue to change
Yes.
for
Segway.
several years. So if you could lend out a gem of advice to a young person, their early teens, their late 20s, wherever they happen to land in life that felt the way you have felt,
It
Sure.
what
could,
would you
could
say?
just be a rock of advice, too. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it
have
could
to,
just be that.
Yeah.
I think the thing definitely is, and I work with I work with kids all the time, and one of my students, the greatest thing they ever said to me was like, they said, you want to make me be myself 100% of the time.
Aw.
And so that is like my best advice is just be yourself, your true authentic self, no matter what comes. Definitely, thankfully, like seek out support either in your family if you can't do that, your teachers, students. Thank God we're in the age of the internet. I mean, definitely be careful, but like Facebook groups are chat rooms that are made for that. I think just try to find that place of solace and support, and just know that like you being yourself is the best thing that you can give to the world.
Because you are enough.
Yes, and you are
Yeah.
unique, and like what you bring is not what anybody else can bring to the puzzle. So
Well, thanks so much for being on the show
You're
today.
welcome. Thanks for
Final round of
having
applause
me.
for Kyle Ann. Be sure and check out the Gender Repeal Party on August 20th at Lincoln Hall at 9:30. Check out shop.spreadshirt.com for tickets. Also, don't forget Catzilla. It's a fundraiser for cat shelters coming up on August 25th and 26th at the Prop Theater. Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah.
Yay, we did it. We did episode.
It was great.
Oh, thanks
Thank
for
you
sticking
guys.
around.
Of course.